Well, welcome, ladies, to day 5 of John chapter 19. And we have a little invitation for you today.
Yeah, we have, Ashrita and I, as we got together today, realized that we approached this chapter very differently. And for myself, as I went through it inductively, it was a fresh way of looking at John 19 and seeing it in a whole new light, leading me to a place of worship, leading me to remember, and maybe in the deepest way ever of 50 some years of life, of comprehending what it is that Christ has done for us. But Ashrita, you took a different bent this week. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of got stuck on day 1 and day 2 of not wanting to do an inductive study on this passage. And you had mentioned that it's atypical. I tend to be like an intellectual, live in my head type thinker.
You do?
She acts surprised. I mean, this is the way God created me. And yet it's also, it can be a stumbling block in that I can approach text merely from an intellectual level and not let it hit me to my heart. And so for me this past week with John 19, I didn't do an inductive study. It was more of a contemplative, sit with the passage, still be in the Word, but let it hit my heart.
More meditative.
Yes. Yeah. And so it was a different experience with John 19. Still learned things using a different way of approaching Scripture. And yet we each landed at this place of adoration and worship.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So really, ladies, we just want to encourage you, wherever you are in the study, to take time to sit in the Word, to slow down and really let it wash over you. That the Word isn't just to be read. We're to know Christ beyond just intellectually, but experientially too. It needs to go down into the heart.
Exactly. And if this is something that you're familiar with and maybe you struggled with that this week, I would even encourage you to ask the Lord to help make this fresh, as if you're reading it for the first time. Let the injustice of it hit you. Let the mockery and the pathos and just the full weight of this chapter of Jesus' story, let it be fresh to you.
Absolutely. Let it be fresh and see and know Jesus with fresh eyes. See and know his, as we talked about earlier in the week, his step-by-step obedience. That I liked how earlier in the week you said every moment was a yes to this hour of glorification, to this hour of going to the cross, willingly laying down his life and loving us to the very end. So know that afresh this week.
And let it move you to that point of adoration and worship.